We begin our report in Japan, where President Biden will attend the 49th G7 summit, which starts Friday in Hiroshima. While he had shortened his trip to accommodate debt ceiling negotiations back home, Mr. Biden had time ahead of the yearly meeting to sit down with its host, Japanese Prime Minister Fumio Kishida. He spoke about the partnership between their two nations.
I think the quote is, we face one of the most complex environments in recent history, security environments. And I couldn't agree with you more. But I'm proud that the United States and Japan are facing it together.
And CBS News senior foreign correspondent Elizabeth Palmer joins me now. Liz, what is at the top of the agenda for the G7 nations this year?
It's Ukraine, and as one administration official put it, turning the screws on Russia so that it is crippled in its efforts to fight the war in Ukraine. So there will be efforts multilaterally, different countries coming up with export controls, sanctions, that sort of thing, to choke off the flow of revenue and material to Russia. And the United States separately has already announced that it has 300 new targeted sanctions against ships, against planes, companies and people that are funneling money and various other materials into Russia, and that's going to be cut off, or at least there will be a serious effort to cut it off and enforce the sanctions wider.
And Liz, is it as much the specifics of what these countries propose on Ukraine, or the fact that they are all standing together with a unified symbolic message against Russia on the question of the invasion of Ukraine?
Certainly that will be at the headline of the communique. It's very important for the United States to have a real solid show of solidarity, and not only now, but a commitment going forward, because there is some nervousness that the support for the sanctions will begin to erode. And so the U.S. is looking for a commitment that says we are solid and we are staying solid.
At these G7 meetings, there are non-G7 countries that are invited. What are they saying about the agenda this year?
Well, they were chosen by Prime Minister Kishida, the Japanese Prime Minister. They are mostly Pacific countries, and they will be listening very closely to the debate around defense, because the United States is trying to build a coalition in the Pacific to try and contain China, and these countries will be asked to join one way or another, or alternatively some of the smaller ones, the Comoros Islands, for example, may be presented with a proposal. If you side with the U.S.-led alliance, we might be able to deliver you, who knows, some development money, infrastructure money, and we'd like you to do that instead of accepting a competing offer from China. So it's going to be a very interesting sideshow to watch.
Yes, wooing going on in the background. Finally, Liz, on the question of President Biden's domestic challenges this is a meeting of global economies, and the U.S. is on the brink of crippling, perhaps, the global economy. Is that much in the conversation over there?
Behind the scenes, yes. Certainly everybody is watching closely and reassured to see that President Biden has got one of his senior advisors, Ruth Reed, with him, so that clearly the issue is very live inside the administration team here. Everybody is choosing to assume that the U.S. will solve this problem, because the effect on the economies of all the members of the G7 otherwise would be devastating.
Elizabeth Palmer in Hiroshima, Japan. Thanks so much, Liz.